working on yet another Mikuni TMX carburetor that the jet block gasket had gone bad in. But if you watch our other video, you know how to fix that now. But we had some requests to talk about the jetting that we use. I know there's a lot of people talking bad about the Mikuni. I was one of them for quite a while. And I figured out why they suck so bad. Despite the jet block gasket issue and the leaky needle and seat issue, which are two sucky things, the needle that they're using is absolutely ridiculous. So this is our 2018 KTM 250 XCW. That is our rental. Her name is Daisy. So after jetting with the stock stuff and whatever, anyway, we ended up getting a JD kit because I've got Electron on one of my other two-strokes and I like it, but I wanted to try something different. I went and I got a JD kit because we're a dealer, and I looked at it and I put it in and it's been awesome. This bike runs great. It gets phenomenal gas mileage. So let's talk about what we got going on. First and foremost, the main jet. The KTM suggestions for main jets are ridiculously rich, especially for up here in the mountains. We're at about 5,000 to 6,000 feet here in Montrose, and then it goes up obviously from here. But even at sea level, they're, in my opinion, too rich unless you're just wide open on the gas. And their chart doesn't go lean enough for up here. So JD recommends for the 250 XCW for aggressive trail riding to run a 390. We actually run a 380 main jet because we spend a lot more time in the tight stuff and not so hard on the gas, and it makes the bike a little more crisp. Also, every jetting recommendation coming from a big company is going to be a little bit conservative, so they don't want you to blow up motorcycles. Because we work on motorcycles and fix them, I was willing to take a chance. So I went one smaller to a 380 main jet, and it's been brilliant. No spooge out of the back. Bike runs crisp, runs good. It's got over 100 hours of both me and rental customers riding it, including racing it in California, racing it up here, racing it in Oklahoma, and the bike's been brilliant. No problems. Stay tuned, by the way. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see our top end on this thing. We're going to be taking that apart here pretty soon. The guys at Vertex got us a top end kit, so we're going to be putting that piston in this bike soon. Not today because I got to ride it tonight. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be good. Subscribe and hit the little notification bell so that you know when we upload the video for that. So, alright, so for the Pilot Jet, we're running the JD recommended Pilot. It's a 32.5. It comes in the kit. It works great. I don't worry too much about Pilot Jets because I don't spend that much time way down in the RPM range. So as long as it idles okay and doesn't load up, then I'm happy. And as long as the throttle response is good. Let's get down to actually what really matters about the JD kit. It's the needle, right? So all the other jets you can buy from any dealership or shop that has Mikuni jets. You know, we stock them, whatever, most people do. But the needle's the key. And I'm sure that James at JD has found the right needle and is just having them made to put in his kits. But I don't know what that needle is, and I'm not willing to go search through piles of needles and figure it out and measure everything and all that stuff. He does that. That's why we're happy to pay him for the kit. So, but let me show you what the stock needle looks like. It's pretty obviously odd in my opinion. So, all right. So if you look at that needle right up near the tip, you'll see how it tapers a whole bunch, and I can't really get a great look at it with this, but there you go. You can see it tapers kind of normally, and then it does a really steep taper to a really thin point. Well, that's weird, and I don't know what bike would work well with that. It kind of goes from lean to full rich all of a sudden, and as far as I'm concerned, that's going to be a weird transition and not work really well. JD needle, in comparison, see, it's a much more normal looking jet needle. So as far as I'm concerned, that is the big difference. The rest of it looks kind of basically the same, but it continues a normal taper to the bottom. Well, that needle right there is the big difference, and that needle and the research that he's done is the reason that I'm happy to pay him and his company for the jet kit, so I don't have to dig around through things and find it out. Now, If someone watching this knows what needle that is that you can get cheaper, go ahead and slap that in the comments. I've heard Suzuki, I've heard Yamaha. I don't know what it is, but if you know for sure, put it in the comments. That way people can buy them even cheaper. But I like to support JD. He does a great job. The bike runs phenomenally. I run the red needle in the number 2 position pretty much everywhere. I run that down here in Montrose at 5,000 to 6,000 feet, up on the plateau at 8,000 to 10,000 feet, and all the way up in Taylor in that area at 12,000 to 13,000 feet. I don't ever change the needle position unless I'm going to go to sea level-ish and race, where I know I'm going to be hard on the gas. Then I'll put, I actually just raise the needle up one clip, drop the clip, raise the needle up, and get a little bit richer. But in my experience, needle position won't blow anything up. It's more about throttle response. So as long as it's responding good, I don't really worry about it. All right, there's our jetting specs. We run the JD needle, red needle in the number 2 position, a 380 main jet, a 32.5 pilot jet. The air screw, I turn it out about a 1 to 1.5, but that changes with weather. And yeah, bike runs great. Alright, so we got the carburetor back on, and I figured I'd share a pro tip for hose routing. These Mikuni carburetors are known for leaking gas as you're bouncing down the trail. You can either adjust the float height, which is a great idea, or super duper simple, you can just route the overflow hose like this. If you look right in here, so if you look right there, that's the overflow. You bring it up, over, down, right? So that effectively raises the float height. Works, and you're not having to bend the little tab and maybe make it too lean on the running. So I like that very much. So you got 4 vent lines on the carburetor to let air in as gas comes in, or let air out as gas comes in, so that it will continue to fill. So you got one here, and you have 2 on the other side, just like it. So if you've ever been in a deep water crossing for very long, with all your vent hoses running down, the bike will die because it can't let the gas in. It basically runs out of gas because the air can't escape to let more gas in. The old school pro racer tip that I got from some way faster dudes than me is to take 2 of those lines and run them up. So we take this line, this side line, and run it up, and zip tie it up, and just put it up here where it's out of the way. Because if water gets to this level on the motorcycle, I got a whole lot more trouble. With the KTM, it's got these straps holding things up so you can just run it through there. We got it routed from down there up, nice and tight. Cut it off. Cut it off. Take that excess. I'm just going to tuck it up in there so it's free, flowing, and air you can vent no matter what. Again, if you get water to this level of the bike, you got other issues most likely. So you can see that it's routed right here, and it can, which it did before, get loose and come down and hit the pipe. So we're going to solve that problem. Just going to zip tie this thing, make it a little bit tighter. So there you go. Little extra tip for you guys: route those hoses up. 2 of the, you don't have to do all of them, but take 2 of them up and out so the bike won't die when you get in a whole bunch of water. Or if you're in a real muddy situation, they can clog up on the bottom too, even though they're not actually under mud or underwater. So having 2 up and 2 down works good. That way it can also, if you tip over, it spills out the bottom and not all over the bike. So yeah, gonna go ahead and finish putting this thing together and take it for a little test ride.
Well, as you can see, the bike runs pretty stinking good. I highly recommend that jetting. If you get a chance, try it out. If you don't have a JD needle, get one. I'll put a link in the description to JD's website. You can also call and order one from us. We'll send it to you. They're great. I love electrons. I love smart carbs. I love all the advancements in carburetor technology. But if you want to save some money and you want a bike that runs really, really, really good, I highly recommend the JD kit. If you guys have any other suggestions on jetting or anything you want to see us test, comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. We got lots more videos coming. Again, subscribe and get the notification bell on, because we're going to have a top end video showing what that top end looks like. And we'll also be talking about two-stroke oil for that, kind of why we use what we use and what the motor looks like when you take it apart. Hope you guys have a great day, and I really hope you get out and ride your dirt bikes!